onim se omufatuo ni mufom na omuhwe kwan a aman ahodo a wodi suo na sikasem ebegyina ne na so eno eda nchen a oman post sahene de atodwa se ya kyere enipa binom na nipa a ya kye wonom eye na anu ablekuma north pinchen na esi ye no wo mo sa so nipa bi kan echi ye beko na ye di mu nsem ankasa ahyeda amamo jukwade hye ye wo mfimfima ntemu na esre aban se wo se wonom ada wakwan ho nsem nye kyeze ade bi ema nipa setene mu epagya konkan no enya ade hye wo ho nya bi enti ontwa wani emehwe wo no ensem afoforo bi kan we no ho na ewie me de so mo kase bo ekwan so mi amede kase so mo me din de amasa konkoma jesi afi yentinsi ensem no emu Ghana and Japan ye kasa de ye scientists pam ya ayonkofa da aman mienu ntem no ye san ehye kena ne nyina akwa akogina ese Ghana mampanyi John Dramani Mahama ebuna ketem akopie hobi ya woni mpanyifo edi ehia ne nsem a woka nyina ne se oman Ghana ba ne se ye kokoo no a ye di mu ntinjiman pa ya ye ni Japan to kesa mbo hunu se de ye ni omadi dwa abesi nne no ebe chen se de ye ye na kane ne mpo.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister. And let me begin by thanking you for your warm hospitality since we arrived here in Yokohama. I think everything has been very well. I still have several of my colleagues who I worked with, and I'm looking forward to see them on Friday before I leave. I'll have a reunion with them. When I was president the first time I attended the TICAD of 2013 here in Yokohama, and then again in 2016 when it was held in Nairobi. And so it gives me an opportunity to continue the discussion on the relations between Ghana and Japan. As you rightly said, Ghana has a strong relation with Japan through several factors. The first being the fact that Dr. Noguchi arrived in Ghana 100 years ago. Aside from that, 2027 will also be 50 years since the first JOCB volunteers came to Ghana. So we're going to celebrate 50 years of JOCB in Ghana. And in addition, we're going to celebrate 70 years of diplomatic relations between Ghana and Japan. So we have a triple celebration, and so we're looking forward to it. We've had excellent diplomatic relations, and Ghana has enjoyed very good.
Japan hyiamudie ya wode dwendwen bibima hoin Ghana mampanyin asan kasa bio se wosa bibima mpanyimfo yemfa tuo engu fom yemfa basabasa yento ho na fei wonhwe kwa obepeda oman no asetena mu omanfo yiedie no ada won makoma so.
We're holding TICAD 9 against the backdrop of a rapidly changing world trade order. Multilateralism is on the retreat, and countries are increasingly acting unilaterally in their relationship with the rest of the world. The world's largest economy that should be the driver of global trade and investment has become more insular and transactional in its outlook. The recent round of tariffs and retaliatory tariffs have spooked world trade and the global economy. The full effects of these trade wars will have ripple effects on global growth and prosperity for years to come. We must form a coalition of the willing to create alternative markets for sustainable global growth. Africa is open for business and is the next frontier for trade and investment, with a population of 1.4 billion people and a fast-growing middle class. Africa has the potential, with the African Continental Free Trade Area, to become a significant player in the global economy. While partnerships such as what we are forging here in TICAD 9 are important, a lot of responsibility rests on the shoulders of African leaders to create an environment that is conducive to trade and investment. We wish to partner with any nation of the world on a basis of win-win, but let us not kid ourselves. Trade and investment will not come to Africa merely because we wish it. We must undertake the hard but necessary reforms to make Africa an attractive destination for investment. And that is why we must silence the guns and stop the fighting. That is why we must reform our economies and make them more stable and predictable. And it is why we must reform our governance and make public service accountable and free of corruption. We thank Japan for its unconditional support for African development. But as we've emphasized here in Yokohama, we must move from handouts to leveraging our partnerships with countries like Japan to co-create prosperity for all stakeholders. We can combine Japan's technology and innovation with Africa's natural resources and youthful, skilled human resource to create growth and prosperity for all. TICAD 9 must mark the pivot where Africa changes the narrative and puts its house in order to earn a place at the global table. I thank you, Co-Chair Kishida.
Shebedwamo and a public accounts committee etna say na sitting anymore and na awutu senya east mrashebedwani munyam for Phyllis na call your kuno bisa say yera boadu ya we director de ma atnaya wo ahmodeni ase no wona hwe sikasem so yate se ensamedini bi hwehwe aban ngomamu a wonu mu gisika efi 2002 bepim 2003 sasem no we are no say enchemu a ode amani.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This infraction is on 211 page 448. It's on unearned salaries. Contrary to the regulation 92 of the Public Financial Management Regulation 2019, our audits of the payroll records disclose that 3 employees who vacated posts between December 2022 and December 2023 were validated and paid unearned salaries totaling 24,253.49 pesos. The details below: Ali Kanga Nuhu, Seth Apia, and Cornelis Deli. Now, I would want to find out, can you inform the committee of the status of this observation?
Respectfully, Mr. Chair, in respect of these issues, all the 3 staff that have been mentioned in this report were at post as at the time that they were paid the salaries. But when the auditors were conducting the audit, due to misfiling, we couldn't provide the necessary information to them at that time. But, Mr. Chair, after diligent search by the team of the ministry, we were able to recover all the necessary evidence, and same were brought to the attention of the auditors. But the issues that the auditors raised us, it has already been captured in the auditor's general report, and it's not within their purview to do anything, and we need to appear before this honorable committee, for this honorable committee to give a direction. So, Honorable Chair, we are here at your guidance as you so direct what needs to be done for these issues to be resolved.
Honorable member, auditors, have they provided the necessary documents?
Honorable Chair, we are yet to have documentation or evidence to the fact that these staff exist. What happened was that the audit was done, an observation was issued. We were not given any evidence that they existed. And I think that from engaging with the team, they have asked that if they say they exist, then they should produce them for us to ascertain that indeed they are staff that are at post. But we don't have that at the moment. And so we cannot say whether what they are saying is what actually exists or not.
Yera bodo achire mu se sika no wonu magye ye free 2002 di besi ye kasa nyina no na omu ye adwumanye se omu a ye yi omodi ana na omu nya adwuma na omu tue sika no ema wonu nkrata asem bi ene kwota ebe bi nso se de wonu mahu ya bibia atotodin omai post sahene yera Christian tetoyo no e de atodwa se akwatia by election no omu de memman kentina wam bambonsem womu bayiri mu empem nsia 6000 ena ekro na wonu mbehwe se pania kura wo bi ntu bi emfa nto ba bi mu obi nti aso na awo no sa wo so den samone ba pa de ene wo mu de be hia wo enti wo mu abo aboso ye kasa wo se sa nipa dodo yi wo ma ye ntete e de ama binom wa ma GJ mpanyufo arehye mu sense ntwofo boba nyina aso so wo mbabo ho ban officer bie ni wa obetumi de mrahye ne nsem akobo nsentwereni.
What I want to say is that Akwetia will be very safe. It is about 600 men who handled all risk operations in the course of the election duties. About 600 people have been trained. The preparedness to conduct search to ensure that nothing dangerous is concealed in a vehicle or in a motorbike that can cause any trouble during elections, and also preparing the men who will be at the ground so that if somebody intends to use a weapon to snatch a ballot box, the precision in dealing with that particular suspect. If there should be somebody who can climb the tallest building in Akwetia, we have the men, and the men have gone through that rappelling training. We are ready for the election, and the men, as I'm talking about now, those 600 men have already moved to Akwetia. They are going to soften the ground. You know, we heard so many TikToks and the social media comments. People said, oh no, we are going there with arms and everything. I want to assure you that the police will deal decisively with those people. And I think they are cowards, they cannot come. They cannot come because if you see the way we are prepared, the high level of preparation towards, I have told people that our eyes are red. We are going to deal with it decisively to make sure that people can feel safe, the media can feel safe. And I assure you that our brothers and sisters from the media, no policeman will attack you. We are there to protect you. It is our duty to protect you because without you, nobody will know what is happening. Somebody will be at home, he will not be at Akwetia, but he can even see what is going in Akwetia better if it is not you. So all we are telling our police personnel countrywide is that the brothers and sisters who hold the camera and then the phones to take whatever they are doing during the election times, I think there's a level to which they can go, but then you have to be moderate in handling them, making sure that because without them, the rest of the people who are at home watching, they cannot see what is going on. And we have passed that stage whereby we have to look at the media to be a different group of people. They are part of us.
Omai post sahene asatoa ne nsem so ese ye kase idea wono mo akire enipa nwotwe na no by election course wa Ablikuma North ya bonse ntwofo miensa political figures bi okra na omo ka ho ebi se nipa ni ache wono no se atentene ebeye adwuma aposifo ade mrahye won nsem bonse ntwofo ya amfaso bi ani so no ombehwe nsem ni mu de osa so twe no ombetwe na so.
We cannot challenge this the incidents that happened either currently or in the past. We can't say anything that will say that we did the right thing. And then we have to let some of the things put apart. Let's put them behind us. And then we are assuring you, my administration, we want to assure you that these things will not happen again. If you look at what happened at Ablikuma North, the incident of our senior police officer that day spoiled the whole day. Immediately I have to meet my former members to decide on action to take. So within the shortest possible time, we have to withdraw this policeman officer, and quickly we also, what we did was that we have to interdict him. When you are interdicted, your uniform is taken away from you. You cannot go back to work. But there's rumor going on that we have just transferred the policeman from where he is to to another police station, which is never true. It is not true. He's on interdiction, and when you are interdicted, we go through all the due process, using our service instructions, and then internal disciplinary actions are taken against you. And then the same police officer is also facing the criminal action. Touching still on the Abdulkumanov, there were these assault issues that were mentioned, and then the Accra Regional Commander Assad yesterday had got 8 suspects. 8 suspects have been arrested. Yesterday, they are being processed, and from the advice I had from the regional commander means that tomorrow they will put them before court. Later, either tomorrow or Friday, one of these days, all these suspects will be put before court.
for na GJ eso eda ye o my post sahene na se na watch se wo se nipa nwotwe ya chi wo mu ne wo mu hwe pa na atentene anya adwuma fei wo sere se ebro bebrebe ebo nsentwofo no Ghana yenhwe na etontwa.
Not long ago, 2 of our colleagues were brutally assaulted when they were discharging their constitutional mandate during the Abdulkumanov rerun. One, a reporter of Multimedia, Troy, and another reporter of the EIB group. This reporter from the EIB group was assaulted by no other person than a senior officer of the Ghana Police Service. This is very serious because we know that our men and women in uniform are supposed to be the ones to be protecting us and to create an enabling environment for us to deliver and discharge our constitutional mandate. So when they start inflicting injury on us, we don't take such attack for granted. It's a very, very serious matter. Aside this, there has been series of attacks from January to now. It's becoming so scary, and one may ask if journalism is a crime. Everybody is afraid of the gun, but we are more afraid of the pen. And so our weapons are the pens and the microphone. So if you feel unsafe, if you feel that the environment is not or is hostile to us, the only thing we can do is to lay down our pen and microphone. Declare anybody who has the pendant and attitude of attacking the media, who doesn't have the temperament or the commitment in standing the media, and all they do is to chase or go after the media, attack the media, and inflict injury as enemies of democracy and press freedom. I believe that the security needs the media, and the media also needs the security. We all need each other. And I believe that this meeting offers us the opportunity and offer the Ghana Police Service opportunity to address certain demands we made, and also to update us on the state of investigation on some of these cases, especially the recent ones involving the Abdulkumanov rerun. All we need is the security and safety of our members, Mr. IGP. And once you give us that assurance, and once you provide that enabling environment for us, you can count on us. You can be rest assured that we will deliver the mandate without any provocation, without overstepping our boundaries. We will work within the ambit of the law. We are not above the law, and nobody is above the law.
I was for your bushy na yako asante mantamu na yako jina menshia abubuano ene yena na amakwedu ya watoso miensa asante hima woka nchini egu ya breduani sija so batampa ene nananuma ya maniye di ni na watcheda wa asante memu yenuaba amanya kon atefa ewa ahomane so a wojina hode na ni kurotwe wisi ehwe de ekoso nti ye mana boyen na watwa homfoni kakra e de achen ama ma hai me jiri se asante memu boko
ana enibre eni areho ena aba ni nyina eye Richia abo ewa santimemo esanse na nahima eko ekura na ene na awotweda enti uba bedu menhia ojaria eyade a yabodwa data ya di na awotweda no na enchekura na ohene aba betnase na eba seyi amamre ne amanne no sene esitie no esese ye kiremu ema asantime nyina ati enunti teacher Safo Kantanka ewa hanoma eba asanti amamre ne amane a woni mu ba ye bese ebusa ne se abasei no amamre ho hyehyeye no sei ne sitie teacher ye mu akwa baba United Television so kire ya amamre no abasei no edian ena ye hwe ni mu ahonya ya sapia adokita wo ho
na otweda santimai nyina na edi na otweda no santehene ena esini naso enti enye na otweda kuma duwa utimi hu se na otweda no aya no ho eye ne sa se dia emra ye wo mu yi na otweda aye afiase akoye se efiase firi na otweda na asa koya osantehene ne maame no sa ye santehene ma no na otweda ne yedie ne de ye se na otweda bia wo wiase dia no ahwa sa na otweda wi no anase wo be bia yentine ji usika otweda ye suafo ne enye sanso osiri hu ka che ne se osantehene ade ne siri na so no na omo ene tudwa achire ahonwo a ebechia wo se omashida omde beyayie
wadaroma nti sese ye hwe ni mu se otumfo betenase a omo beheda de beyayie na ye nhwe ne twamfoni na kire mu ye hunu se eyiye de ye tuntum chiniye ne ade ne nananom nyina wo maba obia edenti na tesa
yo tuntum ye amane ne amamre kwan so ade bia yedi emre bia yedi yaw bia no esese yetuntum enti oya bia se eni bere kase na aba enti oya bia obefa bibi foforo bia enye tuntum aya ho ni titiro o entare anasa ntuma ewosoro esese yetuntum anya tuntum dia na jese waye ho se onkan ho
na etuo ne soso etoto no soso no ejina ho made
etuo ni nyina si tia enese ohima na adane ato ho enti etuo no kire se senye owuo ena koye se ekon a enka etuo bia wo wiase bia ye beto ade agye na na hima
teacher ya dase papa na ye bani sei no a eyiye ni yone ni ade ne ya na ensem no ko bebre ye nkwa abonten ye mie store ni ade amamre mu no ejina homa de
yo ejina homa eni bre na nhihye sebe nya do asem ba sei ya obi kura atimi fa emra ehye ne nsem eye de ope enti esese ye to ye bo ase hwe nananom mo amototo wo mo ne ma ansana baby o mo no ba kire se ye mfamfa no na ya dia fa ho
ya da se teacher Safo Kantanka ena ye tene nka no na we eye nana kunadu yi adomwa otoso emiensa na wakwa akura ne na awotweda ena ye di ewo menhia enti se ubusa ya na sa enesitie so wo hwe chine ne nananom se ne omo atenatena na nananom aman hini nyina ena atenatena ne sa no na nana sa afuna no a wo de kata animu no eno so no ejina ho maden
yo se afuna mo de bo hene no hema ho ban enti se wo wansere kwan ame hu se adwempa na wo tirimu na wo ba e de afuna na si wo kwan
e de enti na sese obi atena se ansa na wo hene aba
ono no o ma no wo no ona ne dia enti eyi nhyehyeye amane ne amamre ohene ba ko pe na ehimfumienu na ohene tenase a omo tenase wie ansa na ono aba ba ko ene chidom hene one a champion hene ono de ono na ka chire ohina tenase na ansana ono nso aba na ono no nso na chidie yo ka chire kura gise ohina nkasa esoma ne akofre no no aba edwabe hene
na che se omo no de omo no ohene tenase wi ansana omo no na aba amamre mu no yo teacher yedase papa United Television so nie nana konadu yi adom ya okwa akura ne na wotweda na enne yatenase a yedi no enti eye abese no na ato asanteman enti ubusa me a ye wa ha afeya no ohene eba betenase onya tenase pe na ya sha ase ano no nana mo himfu nyina tenase ya ye hwe ne mu se ohene beba asembisa bi wo ho a wadaroma
enya atade bia na wo ba ho se wayiyi wa wo amu nufu ho untimi mfa sile queen atade bia ma ho eno no eya atesem keke anasa eyampa
dabi enya atesem eyampa kire se eya ni bre na aba osante hini so wi sa asante hima na wi kra ni nua ba po enti na eya ni bre enti no sa wo beba ha no mu a esese ne amamre ne amane atwagu no wo siesie wo ho se obi a wo ye Ghana ni a wakata wo ho yoba akatesia wakata wo ho asie abrante enso so wahya wo trousers ne wo shirt kama na wa fra wo ntoma kama na wo dia ba esanse ha no enye party bi ne eba na enye anigye bi ne ebeye eye abese no na ato ye ntime ka sai kura no pembedu he ma bi bisin bi ya wo bi ani abre ne de wa ha ntine wontimi me yiyi wa wa mu ne wo nofo ho ene wo wanantu emfa nkyere enti sa wo hwa mfoni no a emma no ne a wo mfra dancing cry no wo fra slate ne kama mema no so ne a onkwa ha ne ntoma wo mfra ne ntoma no wa hya ne captain kama ni nyina no edi adanse ese amamre na etwego ya amamre bu no etade a ye hye yiyi ho no enka ho bi
papa ebusanfo ye nua ba amanya ko atefa na yekotie no na kyerese ne uyesle queen no ayese obekwa asante na wakwa asante ma na wotweda ne bidia ni wasiesie hu ye nya sa yebetwu ese abonten yemfa ntade bone enkoho no na yeto ansam ne so a aban kuntabufuo de aba abonten esese wo hwe ye producer price inflation no a say eso atihwi every 5.8% no akọ 3.8 enti onu mo sre mu amu ye niema na se mu ma entene nkoka fom hofon say mu de no aba fom enti de obeto no so mo no so ne ho ha ni bi.
This is the 6th month in a row that year-on-year producer inflation has come down. In July 2025, producer prices rose just 3.8% compared to the same time last year. That is a sharp drop from the 5.8% in June and a huge fall from over 29% same time last year. It means that cost pressures at the factory level are easing, giving us some breathing room in the fight against inflation. The Producer Price Index, which tracks average change in prices received by our domestic producers, stood at 262.5 points in July, up from 258.2 points in June. Month on month, that's a 1.6% increase. Some sectors are seeing outright price drops. Transport and storage costs fell further, from -7% in June to -8.1% in July, and accommodation and food prices stayed steady at 2.6%. What are the implications of all these? Lower producer inflation can translate into slower consumer price growth, but only if cost savings flow through the supply chain. Businesses paying less for raw materials and services have an opportunity to pass those savings on. The drop in mining and manufacturing prices is especially significant as these sectors drive a large share of our industrial output. What does all this mean for the government, for the business community, and for households? For government, lock in stability. Support mining and manufacturing with targeted incentives to boost production, protect jobs, and sustain the downward inflation trend. For businesses, use lower input costs to innovate and stay competitive, rather than only adjusting margins. For households, watch prices closely. When producer costs drop, retail prices should follow. So shop smart, and question markups. 6 months of falling producer inflation is encouraging for Ghana's economy. The challenge now is ensuring that these cost reductions are felt in markets, shops, and households across the country.
Yatwa and Samno so African Marketing Confederation and Technology Information Confederation one more year conference kese e won kran ha ni nyina ne se ye befa abefu nim di kwan so na ye de aton ye ho ese bibiman se de be ye di mpuntuo eni mpagya ebeba yasete.
We have the human capital, which is very important in, making sure that we create our own technologies that we consume here. Like I stated in my speech on behalf of my minister, that it is time we stop consuming imported technologies and look within so that we can empower our own that into ICT. So that is why His Excellency the President of the Republic has promised a lot of policies when it comes to the ICT sector. In his first tenure when he was the President of Ghana, if you go around this country, you will see a lot of ICT centers being built across the country. And all these ICT centers were equipped with computers that we can use to train our youth, we can use to train the students. This is time for us to look with and develop our own human capital. When we've developed the human capital within Ghana here, we have experts in this country that are capable of creating more technologies that will help trade and that will create more jobs. It's time for us to look within. In terms of consuming technology, we should not depend on the imported technology. We should rather look within. So when you talk about infrastructure, we have the infrastructure, we have experts who can develop more apps, who can develop more software to make our work very easy in Ghana so that we will not depend on companies that are importing.
Ghana is actually leading this digital transformation effort across Africa, and that is why we are also collaborating with a lot of the African countries to bring professionals together. It starts with professionals. When we get professionals together and they implement the policies developed by our regulators across the continent, we are able to then move these digital transformation efforts, together. Ghana is one country, but we can also collaborate with African neighbors. So we can actually have professionals from here working in other African countries after training. We can also have solutions here that can be deployed in other African countries. That's what we want to do.
Of lots and lots of years of hard work, trying to pull together all the professional African marketers to enjoy networking and collaborations going forward. We've gone international and we've now signed collaborations with the Asia Marketing Federation, the Chartered Institute of Marketing in the UK, and the European Marketing Confederation.
Yatwa and Samno so Deputy Director Edema Ghana Tourism Authority Yewura Gilbert Abeku Agri Santana na ewo AMC ene tikon nhyiamudie ya wo ye ewo nkranhe yase na waton wo man Ghana ede aman ahodo se wo pe baabi a wo gibea wo pe baabi akobo wani akonhoma se nsahwe bia de a na yo man Ghana mu
Dwadifo your border it is a marketers ehia yenso your border yenso ye dwadifo ede na yeton Ghana, ye ton Ghana nsahwe ene onyankopon bobre enema wode ache ensuo enkwaye ye duane ye nwom ye ntade hye ye nema ahodo a eye soronko a ye pese amanfo eba duane se ye asa se ye bibia nipa create ye bia eye cultural die nyankopon boy eye natural na ye hwe Africa ha Yawo aman bi a omo woni ema bi esene yen eba tourism uko Southern Africa sa akwanya iso ni aba beton sa ne ema no e de achi nti uhwe ya mekasemu no mekaye nuane ewo se enye jollof nko a wache banku fufuo ni de keka ho ka ya sa yanwum se yen ne yanwum e friend high life ebi ni wiase ba bia ya damu sronko yanwum kra sronko ya sa ene ye niema eti obi fi oman bi a omo wonwa ewo ho na obete se yen ye wo sa niema ye omu ni bi wo mo man mo beba ha ena bi nso no ya sumdue ene ye ahohoye said the year ahoho no eye sronko Ghana ni do abesra oman last year 2024 yenya 1.23 million after covid say yakoye nim kakra but ni more omampani ani swade hunu se ebe ma ahoho mo aba ahoho ba ombeto aduane ombeto ntade ombefa car ombe toto enema ebe boa ama economy no akosoro ene obi ti amanone na opese oba Ghana obetumi akọ online onim baby bia opese okọ oba bedu a onim digital car obefa ede akọ okọ a ti sesi ana the world become a global village. It's young tourism for the AI India grokra. Into conference ebe ma yesua more na ya dom wesuko na etumi abomodin dia ton ye tourist site and attraction amankrofo ababesra.
We need marketers to be certified. We need those within the branding, the advertising space, the technology space to be to come for certification. And the reason for the certification is also the environment of ethics and professionalism. That is what we're teaching, that is what we are driving, and we believe that education and continuous education is what we can use to be able to ensure that the data that we are collecting from the various markets are put to very good use. It's not only about data and how we are using it, it's even how we are protecting the data of customers. And all these things are programs that we have put together, we keep on putting it together so that we can be able to bridge the knowledge gap between marketing, technology, and then client safety.
Department of Geography and Resources Development wonum IFA bi ewo University of Ghana na ni nyina ejina mapping ekwan ya befa so na yetumi nkwada ni sua ho ade wonso anya adwuma ye wose galamse ekun ya Ghana yentimi nkun nyina se ye de hu nimdia ni hu hwehwemu eja wonum se ye nche no ye sua dan ahodo mu ewo sua pon ni mu a eya de a obetumi ayo na yetumi atu ase ne nsase ho hawa hodo a ye wo nyina. Ebusia yanko ensem foforo na samba ko ababeto edwa ene sesese de wo sempanyufo ankasa de emra no eye adwuma no hwe ema yatenaye yetumi esi niema hodo bia emwa na ese yatenaye no ye de bo eho ban onimonyamfo afra ya wono ene ye search planes emrahye bedwani na de sansem wetu dwa se ebraso se mpanyufo mu ankasa sore na otena ho se obi na enkoye mra wo de a da bia de ye hwe ani mu se yebetumi aduru ho ame yatena ye na yeye no ebesai.
This occasion represents fresh hope, a sense of duty, and our renewed commitment to environmental sustainability and the restoration of our precious land. With these seedlings, however, we will be launching our forest reclamation agenda. As the saying goes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best time is now. That is why we are here today, to take action, not someday, but right now. Let us not see this exercise as merely planting seedlings. We are sowing the seed for a better tomorrow for such a farm place. Every tree we plant today will one day provide fruit, shelter, and protection for our children and our grandchildren. Let us remember that if we join forces, we can reform such a farm place into a greener, healthier, and more beautiful constituency. So today, let us plant with hope, with love, and with unity. May God bless us all, bless our land, and may God bless such a farm place constituency. Agency officially, a year program Ayatu Midday, Nasira Green Initiative is duly launched.
I told you say NLA at the draw for Frobia Bar, what done eti.
We did our checks and then we realized that they were a company with a very high level of integrity. They met all our compliance. They ticked all the compliance boxes. So there's one thing that we here at NLA do, and that is we put in a lot of money into good causes. And within the good causes, we have education, youth and sports development, and health. So we realized that they were also interested in CSR. So we agreed with them that, okay, some of the revenues that will be generated through this activity should be channeled into CSR. And then we agreed with them to give us some of the revenue to give to our Good Causes Foundation to support education, youth and sports development, and then health. So that is the reason why we are partnering Genius Loci.
We're going to give away exciting prizes from now to the 20th of December. Look out for us. We'll be coming in your communities. We have 100 communities. A community is a group of people that have similar circumstances, similar aspirations, hopes, and all of that. We will be coming to washing bays across Ghana. We'll be going to restaurants. We'll be going to corporate offices. We'll be visiting hospitals. And these are the communities. We have created the luckiest to affect the ordinary person, the everyday person. This year, we are giving as much as 2.5 million cedis to the luckiest ticket winners. We would want to say thank you to the National Lotteries Authority, the Caritas team, for the support, the guidance that they've.
One of the four sham work for Dria, what don't you quite Fasoa? Yes, said Jahodua, ye no, Yebenya Sika Abohombra.
One of the things we need to do is to realize that the National Surgical Obstetrics and Anesthesia Plan has got a very short time period for implementation. It is quite a big job, needs money, which must be mobilized. And if we realize that, then whatever we discuss, whatever actions we take, we will have to really fit them in there. Ghana, like all countries, are supposed to deliver universal health coverage by the year 2030. We are in 2025. The National Surgical Obstetrics and Anesthesia Plan will have to be reviewed in 2029. We haven't got a penny to start work with. So obviously it's the Ghana government that will bankroll this a lot. So with all respect, my Deputy Minister for Health, we are hoping to see it show in the next budget. Otherwise, it will be difficult.
Bridging the gap, policy, practice, and people in Ghana's surgical journey is both timely and compelling. It invites us to confront our challenges with honesty and to act with resolve so that every Ghanaian, regardless of geography or income, can access life-saving surgical care. We know that surgery saves life, it restores dignity, prevents disability, and offers hope where once there was despair. Over the past 2 decades, Ghana has made important progress in expanding healthcare infrastructure, strengthening medical training, improving emergency response systems. These gains are the result of strategic investments, committed leadership, and strong partnerships across sectors. Yet, we must acknowledge that critical gaps still remain. In many rural and underserved communities, access to even basic surgical services is still limited. The surgical workforce, though dedicated and highly skilled, is unevenly distributed. This is why the Ministry of Health is working closely with our partners in taking decisive steps to bridge these gaps across 3 interconnected pillars: policy, practice, and people.
We have seen a format idea, clothing palace, and a day a shame in Pacho, or Toma, who are jeans, t-shirts, Lacoste, Bibi, our Pamo, Bound, who is here, Yumudino, for when ye a chair and crying lava, Abrosino, or more any no need and share no more, or for Dinah, or dear Costro on Sabeka, when yes, our from was 0277 199 8313 a song, Sa Ebeka Wonum. Ye homeso, ye ba bongo di Faradia with your moon, Selma, Wabuano, Evertoso.